Tonight on Cardinal Sports Live's men and women's soccer finish out their seasons, and volleyball gears up for their first SUNYAC tournament in 10 years.
We also have some in-house guests from the men's and women's hockey teams. 1 for the Boogie, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. It's Cardinal Sports Live. Pocket. Let's go.
Cardinal Sports Live, brought to you by Play It Again Sports. As always, I'm Colleen Brandt.
And I'm Derek Palaki. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Colleen, a broken record's going to sound like a broken record's going to sound like a broken record, but we're talking about volleyball.
Shocker,
I know.
Didn't see it coming.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But we are. But I think this is very good news. You know, it's broken record if you're like, oh, they won, they lost, they won, they lost.
Right.
But they have made the tournament for the first time in 10 years.
10
there
years.
Should be fireworks or something. They got, on top of that, a number 4 seed position. So that is absolutely amazing. I give them all the kudos in the world because I did not think, personally, no offense, volleyball team, that they were that good. And they are. So, you know, I don't know. I hope that they blow everybody out of the water.
No, an amazing amount of credit has to be given. 13-13 on the season. Dina O'Connell, who we spoke to in the beginning, very first episode, we had that interview. How's the team looking? You know, you haven't had much success, but they did really good. It's
true. You know, they did very well, but this game that I'm going to talk about wasn't as well, but it lit the fire for the rest. So the volleyball team battled in 4 close sets against SUNY Fredonia State Friday afternoon, but couldn't hold the Blue Devils facing defeat in their first game of the league pool play. The Lady Cards won their first set 26-24 thanks to terminations from Rosie Cummings, Maggie Strantz, and Laura D. Hill, but Fredonia dominated the net in the next 3 sets. Both team stats were neck and neck, in each having 6 blocks, but the Blue Devils out-hit the Cardinals .183 to .123, taking the victory.
And after the 3-run loss to Fredonia, the Cardinals took on Oneonta that same day. And trying not to sound like the broken record that I have been the last 3-4 weeks, but I just can't help it. Plattsburgh took the first set 25-23. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The Cardinals took care of the Red Dragons in the second set by a score of 25-19. Unable to get the sweep, the Red Dragons took the third set 25-21. Let's set that broken record up one more time. The Lady Cards took the fourth set. Any guesses? Bueller, 25-23. Rosie Cummings led the team with 19.5 points and 17 kills. Laura D. Hill was not far behind with 12.5 and 12 of her own.
And the volleyball team improved their SUNYAC record to 6-3 after defeating SUNY Geneseo Saturday morning, earning the Lady Cards a 4th seed position in the tournament, as I said earlier. Rosie Cummings had a match high of 19 kills for the Cardinals throughout the 4 sets. The sets were neck and neck as long volleys were played. However, the Cardinals never let the Blue Knights get within 5 points, ending the match and snatching the victory. This is the first time in 10 years, as we said, that Plattsburgh will make an appearance in the tournament. And to start things off, the Lady Cards will take on SUNY Potsdam on November 8th in the opening round of the league tournament.
10 years, though, Colleen.
10 years. That is a long...
That's a big gap.
That is a decade. That is a decade of not being in the tournament. And they are going to go guns ablaze into there. And I like how they are not starting out this weekend in the tournament. You know, they have that Dig Ping tournament. Is that what it is? They have that where they play 4 teams. And that gives them a little momentum to fix, you know, the little niches that they have been struggling with this entire season. Hence why we keep saying broken record. But it's true. So I feel like this is a great, you know, gap for them, a little stress reliever going into this, playing 4 teams. They are playing Hartwich, Montclair, Hunter, and LaSalle all before the tournament. Right,
and they have a big flair for the dramatic. It's always 25-23, 25-24, whatever, 25-23. We see it like every game. They won 25-23, they win 25-23. They may lose 25-23 every single time. They're always close. I sound like a broken record.
At least they're consistent. At least they're consistent. And, you know, you can shove those stats where the sun don't shine because those stats got them for the first time in a decade. These stats don't mean anything because it's the first time in a decade that they're in the tournament. So you know what? Whatever.
I'm not arguing, Colleen. I'm not arguing with you. Hold on here. Let's back up the machine here. I'm not arguing with you.
How they are fine, but it doesn't matter because point being, they're in the tournament and they're going to win. So you know what? When we come back next week or the week after, 2 weeks, because they don't play, I'm going to say, oh, broken record, they're on the line. They're not on the line. And we're going to show that they kick butt.
I'm emphasizing the fact that they have a flair for the dramatic. They always keep it close,
so do you.
but they find a way to win. I'm not harping on them at all.
That's right. They do. They always find a way to win. You know, that's true.
I'm not harping.
We should have a postseason conference with Coach O'Connell. I can't even speak. With Coach O'Connell because, you know, in the beginning she was skeptical. She was saying, you know, how they have a lot of good
We got to bring her in.
players. Yeah, you could talk to her.
We got to bring her in.
It's true though. No, we should do because in the beginning they talked. She talked about how she was skeptical, but
Right.
now you know. All her dreams are coming true because they're in the tournament.
Yeah, they've made it. First time in 10 years. She's been in this position since 1997. So it's good that her girls are getting it, but this is her first.
It's true.
Or could be. 16 years, long time. It's higher than 10. This is one of her first chances, and we'll look back at the stats to see if it is her first chance in the SUNYAC Championship playoffs, but we're going to see. But when we come back, we're going to see how the women's soccer team did in their final home games of the season.
And we have men's soccer results on deck, so don't go anywhere. CSL will be right back.
Open from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each night until New Year's.
So you guys are new at PSTV, right?
Yeah.
You guys have any questions?
What do you do in PSTV?
Snap the pieces together.
Alright, I got a role for you. Anyone? How about you girls?
I'm Anthony Powers, and let's get cooking. Hi, baby.
Welcome back to CSL. Now let's get into some women's soccer who did not have as good as luck as the volleyball, but they still had a game against SUNY Brockport. Now this was one of the most important games for the Lady Cards, this match that happened on Friday against SUNY Brockport, which would determine who would move on to the quarterfinals. Now starting off in the first half, the Lady Cards wasted no time on offense as Diana DeCosho shoots from the right-hand side but is denied. Now this game was back and forth action as both goalies stopped every attempt coming their way at first. As you can see, Chrissy Kirkpatrick stopping it right there, going out of the box to prevent the Golden Eagles from scoring. She was in the net for the Cards the entire game and had a total of 7 saves for the day against the Golden Eagles. However, in the 20th minute, after the ball was deflected, but found its way to Brockport's Chelsea Stahl, who shot the ball in the bottom right corner past Kirkpatrick to put the Brockport Golden Eagles on the board 1-0. And with the corner kick, Kirkpatrick saved that attempt after fumbling it, but snatched it, preventing them from scoring anymore. Plattsburgh's closest attempt came right here. As you can see, nobody was there to get the ball as they kicked it away. That was the closest that they would have come all day to putting something on the board, but it was not good enough. Laura Thompson was on fire, not letting anything in the net for the Golden Eagles. Brockport was strong defensively as well. As we'll see here, they're double teaming Melissa Rodriguez as she tries to reach the goal, but is unsuccessful as Brockport takes the victory, preventing Plattsburgh going any further in the tournament 1-0. And I had more with Ashley Pagano. Against SUNY Brockport. Now they scored early on in the game, but you guys held them the entire second half, especially you. You were, diving for balls, making stops. What was it like for you in the second half?
It was hard. They're a good team. We just had to push together, defend together, go forward together. It just would have been nice to, get a goal, tie it up, go into overtime. So it's just hard. They're a good team. You got to play well, play your best. So.
But looking into the future, you guys play tomorrow against Geneseo. Has Coach told you anything about that, like any game plans?
Not really. This was a big game for us to make playoffs. So, we're going to still come in hard. It's a senior game. We have 2 amazing captains. So, just play our heart out. Last home game, so.
There you go. Well, best of luck on the last home game. Sorry about today, but you guys played tremendous defense.
Thank you.
So for CSL, I'm Colleen Brandt. Now back to you.
Coming off the 1-0 loss to the Golden Eagles, the Lady Cards took on the Knights of Geneseo in the final SUNYAC game of the season. Just over 6 minutes into the game, Lori Knapp of the Knights was able to beat a defender off an Alexis Vojvodik assist. Plattsburgh wouldn't get on the board until the 52nd minute when Deanna DeCoscio buried the equalizer. Geneseo would tack on 2 more second-period goals when Vojvodik and Erin O'Connor both got one past goalie Christy Kirkpatrick. Plattsburgh tried to make a late comeback and brought it to a 1-goal deficit, but the Knights did enough to hold on to a 3-2 victory. The Cardinals now travel to Norwich for their final game Thursday before the SUNYAC tournament begins this Saturday. But unfortunately, like we said, they're not going to be there.
Nope, they're not. And it was so sad because, I don't know. I thought that they had a chance. So that entire game, I was rooting for them. And I was like, okay, so even if they lose this game, they might be qualified for it. But they weren't. And then I was talking to Ashley after the game, and I was like, can I interview? And she was just like, everyone's so sad because we didn't make it.
Definitely.
So I really don't want to say a lot. And I felt it. Her heart was breaking. They put in all the effort possible. But, Brockport is a very good team. They're a very, very good team. They're strong offensively and defensively. So they deserved the win, but it was just really sad to see Plattsburgh lose.
Well, right, and you know what it's like to lose at the end. You were an athlete. I used to play sports back in the day, a long time ago.
You played, really?
Yeah, I was a baseball player a long time ago.
Wow.
When you lose at the end, you don't want to talk to anybody
You
when
don't.
you know you're mathematically, physically, whatever, eliminated from playoff contention. The last thing you want to do is talk to anybody, especially in the media. You're lucky you want to talk to your parents.
It's true, but she had really good things today, and she was really positive about it. She was saying, they have the game afterwards. It's a non-conference game. It doesn't really matter, but, we're still going to give it our all.
Right, definitely, and the women's team is definitely going to do that, and they're going to finish off that game against Norwich, and they're not going to hold anything back. They're definitely going to want to do that. It's great to see the women's team, unlike the men's who are in the championship, the volleyball team as well, but the women just couldn't get it done.
But when we come back, we have more men's soccer for you. Don't go anywhere. CSL will be right back.
16 Route 9 in Plattsburgh is a great venue for your next party or to take family and friends. Enjoy the scenic views of Lake Champlain while dining on the main deck or inside. Known for seafood, steak, and spirits, its friendly atmosphere will keep you coming back. Open from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each night until New Year's.
So you guys are new at PSTV, right?
Yeah.
You guys have any questions?
What do you do in PSTV?
Snap the pieces together.
Alright, I got a roller for you. Anyone? How about you girls?
I'm Nancy Powers, and let's get cooking. Hi, baby.
We welcome you back into CSL. Let's get into some men's soccer action. Men's soccer team started a 2-game road trip in Brockport this past Friday. The Cards got on the board early on an Ethan Votrok goal to the top right of the net. The Golden Eagles answered right back in the first period on Peter DiLorenzo's 10th goal of the season. Late in the second period, the Golden Eagles broke the game open on Mark Sylvia's first goal of the season and solidified the lead when Chris O'Gorman netted his 4th of the season. Plattsburgh moved to 11-4-1, and Brockport now stands at 9-1-5 after that match.
The men's soccer team locked up the number 4 seed, defeating SUNY Geneseo 3-0 in their final conference match of the regular season. Matt Hamilton scored the game winner with a penalty kick in the first half, making that his 6th goal of the season. Mitchell Jordan was in the net for the Cards, stopping 4 attempts, improving 8-3, and earning his 5th shutout of the season. This Wednesday, Plattsburgh will face St. Lawrence, and the quarterfinals begin this Saturday as Plattsburgh will host the 5th-seeded Buffalo State beginning at 1 p.m.
Now, this is interesting.
Let's hear it.
Wasn't it last year that the soccer team got their hosted their first playoff game, was it ever, or in some odd amount of time? Remember?
Yeah, yep. And then, lacrosse did the same thing. But yeah, soccer, yes.
Soccer
yes,
as well, or
yep.
whatever it was. I may be confusing my words here, but still, it's great to see that Plattsburgh is getting to host these games now.
I know. I was surprised when I heard that they were hosting it, and I don't know. They have played so well. I feel like they completely deserve this home field advantage.
No, they definitely do. And one of the big things that we talk about is, I think something that lit a fire under them was that Sports Center play. Come on.
Yep.
Number 3.
And
Number
speaking
3.
Of that, the man who shot it, Fabian Chaparro.
Yep.
Yes, he was named SUNYAC's Men's Soccer Offense Player of the Week. That's such a long title, but we should.
How do you not, though?
kudos
How do
to
you
him.
not?
I thought that was really awesome that he won that. So on top
Definitely.
of being not the top 10, but it was top 10, but it wasn't number 10, it was number 3. That is amazing. Out of all those competitors, he also won that Player of the Week offensively.
Definitely, and it's definitely great to see. As we talked about, we've got some upcoming games here. On the 29th coming up, they've got a game away at Norwich. That one's at 3 p.m. And then Buffalo State, when we get into November, it's getting a little colder out there. Soccer players got to warm up a little bit. Quarterfinals begin. Buffalo State home at 1 p.m. It's going to be interesting to see how they come into this.
I think it's nice that they have non-conference games before the quarterfinals because it's like with the volleyball, it's just time to warm up. If you're going to change your offense or defense, get those little niches in place so that when it comes to crunch time, quarterfinals, they have their stuff in gear.
I think they have a tremendous chance, though. I really do. This team has been wonderful all year.
Mm-hmm.
They've been great. They've had a flair for the dramatic a little bit and a flair for Sports Center, I suppose. And they've got a little bit of national attention. So some people, maybe for the first time, are wondering, Plattsburgh? Because you remember on Sports Center, Kenny Mayne first said Pittsburgh State.
I know,
and
but
then he
corrected
it.
Yep.
And I believe he was also like Fabian Chaparro, if that's his real name. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake.
No, he completely deserves that thing. And I was at work and I was talking to Coach Waterbury.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, Coach Waterbury, how are you? And he looked at me like, who are you? I was like, I'm one of the anchors on CSL. I was like, my co-host and I, we're so hyped about men's soccer. And he was completely poker face about it. So he's a really modest coach, I think. He teaches his men on the field and off the field, that they're a really good team, but don't be cocky about it because, as I said, they have really great chances.
No, it's that modesty.
So it's, the modesty that gets him far.
With that seriousness, because he doesn't want these athletes to suddenly go, oh, hey, we got a little nationally recognized. I mean, they don't want it to go to their head. And I'm not saying that they are letting it go to their head because I haven't spoken to any of them. But Coach Waterbury, going into the SUNYACs now, he wants them focused on that, not a little bit of love from ESPN.
Nope, he's keeping them grounded onto the field with their cleats.
Right, they are.
But when we come back, we have Gemma Rutherford and Connor Gorman to join us on the CSL desk to discuss their upcoming seasons. So don't go anywhere. CSL, we'll be right back.
16 Route 9 in Plattsburgh is a great venue for your next party or to take family and friends. Enjoy the scenic views of Lake Champlain while dining on the main deck or inside. Known for seafood, steak, and spirits, its friendly atmosphere will keep you coming back. Open from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each night until New Year's.
So you guys are new at PSTV, right?
Yeah.
You guys have any questions?
What do you do in PSTV?
Snap the pieces together.
Alright, I got a role for you. Anyone?
Welcome back to CSL. Now I have the lovely privilege of introducing Emma Rutherford onto CSL. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, Emma, you are usually behind the scenes on the camera, so I like you sitting here better than Derek, actually. Now, getting into this, when they were like, okay, go and interview on the table, Gemma Rutherford, I was like, I don't know who Gemma is. I was like, I only know Emma Rutherford. I was so confused for the longest time, and then, so can you explain to me why they call you Gemma, please?
Well,
Last year, or my freshman year when I came in here, before my freshman year, I got called Gemma at my old school. So I like came here and I was like, my name's Emma. So everyone started calling me Emma, and then I told them that some people called me Gemma, and they're like, well, what do you want to be called? And I told them Gemma, and like even my coach calls me Gemma.
Really? Aw, I think that's so cute. Okay, so now for the whole world to know, it's Gemma or Emma. There we go. All right, so now let's get into some hockey time. So you guys are ranked in the top 3, actually number 1. Elmira's behind you as number 2. Do you is there a lot of pressure going into the season for how well that you guys did last season?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of pressure because I kind of like being the underdog because then you're not expected of anything. But right now we're like everyone's expecting us to do well. Like around here, they're like, oh, we got to show the women's hockey, and I'm like, hopefully we do well like they are expecting us to do.
That's crazy. Now, looking back at your stats, you trumped the ice as a rookie tremendously. You're winning, all the rookie awards. You made a name for yourself on that rink. So do you have a lot of rookies coming up this season?
Yeah, we have 7 new players, 6 freshmen, 1 transfer.
Nice. So have you seen them practice? Like, do you expect anything different from them as a junior?
Yeah, I think they're going to be really good this year. We have a good goalie coming in. She was on Team Ontario. And then we have a transfer from Norwich, Tyne Gove, who is Teal's sister. And then we have 5 freshmen who are players, and they're pretty good. Make competition within the team.
You just mentioned Teal Gove's sister. What's her name again?
Tyne.
Tyne. So, has Teal come back to visit or anything? Because she was a big name for your team. So
yeah, Teal was here a couple weekends ago to come visit all of us.
That's awesome. So is her sister, does she have the same traits? Has that gene been passed down?
Yeah, they're pretty similar, but
just breeding hockey machines over there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I look at it.
That's great. So as we just saw your stats on the screen, as one of the top scorers, being a tremendous player from freshman year, working your way up, do you have any personal goals being a junior?
As a junior, I want to become more of a leader as a team, not just by goals, but as kind of a role model for our younger players, so that so that they kind of aren't as nervous and kind of look up to me like that.
Nice. Very, very nice. Now, one last question. Do you think you guys could beat the men's team? Just thinking, because we're gonna have Connor come on here. You guys are ranked number 1. I don't know. Girl power. I don't know. Do you think you could beat them?
Could we beat the men's team? I'd like to say yeah.
That's great. That's so good. Okay. So when is your first game exactly?
Our first game is this Saturday in Norwich at 5. There's a fan bus. Get on that fan bus.
Get on that fan bus. You heard it here. Now, after this, we are going to have Derek, who's going to come on with Connor. But first, we are going to show you the red and white game coming up right now. Thank you, Emma, very, very much.
Thank you.
We're joined now by Connor Gorman. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
Now,
having me.
do you have I can note this, do you have a letter before your first name? You're like Connor Gorman or something?
No.
Okay, so that's just Gemma? Okay, good to know. All right, here we go. Before we start about hockey, I got news that you double-lettered in lacrosse.
Yeah.
So why hockey?
I don't know, actually. I think I just loved hockey more than lacrosse. And
Really?
I just kind of stuck with that. So kind of my first love. So
Simple question, simple answer. All right, you're a sophomore.
Yeah.
Last year, 5 goals, 11 assists. 11 assists, that was tied for third on the team. So you were a go-getter, a young freshman. Let's talk about the freshmen now, because you got 7 on the team that made the roster. You were there last season. How do they work with the veterans from your personal experience moving forward?
I think that the leadership we have this year, especially last year as well, is real good. Good bond between the freshmen and the older classmen. We don't really like to look at them as freshmen. They're going to step in, most of them and all of them, and play a vital role on our team. So, I don't think that just because they're a freshman doesn't mean anything. So
Definitely. They got a 3-game homestand. Potsdam on the 1st, Geneseo on the 8th, and then Brockport on the 9th. What do you got to get? What do you got to get done quick to get going? Get a quick 3-0.
we got to get those W's. Obviously, to get 3-0, those are 3 huge SUNYAC games that we can't take for granted. We can't take any game for granted. So I think we just need to stick to our game. We got a lot of speed and just put the puck in the net, play solid defense, and I think we'll be fine.
You're a Massachusetts boy.
Oh yeah.
We were born in the same town, actually, Framingham. Massachusetts boys come with personality, and from what I've heard, you've got quite the personality, and personality goes a long way. How does your personality work with the team, especially with Bob Emery?
I think, me personally?
Yes.
I think me and Bob get along pretty well just because we're both from Massachusetts, so we can kind of vibe about that and bond about that a little bit. I think that a lot of the guys kind of get nervous by him sometimes, maybe because they don't understand how Massachusetts people can be. Kind of a little headstrong and kind of in your face sometimes. So
Totally.
yeah, but I think I got a pretty good personality. So
it looks like the Massachusetts roots here. I mean, Bob, he went to BC. Yeah. You're from Massachusetts. I'm from Massachusetts. It seems like Massachusetts has a bevy of people. Well, obviously, they love their hockey. Yeah. You know that as well as I do. It seems like a lot of Massachusetts people. There's another one from, I can't remember his name. Off the top of my head, he's from Massachusetts. Not that that matters right now. Enough about us. The rankings, though.
yeah.
The women were number 1,
Yep.
as we were told, and apparently they're going to beat you in an upcoming game. Maybe that can be the red versus white game next year. D3 hockey has you guys number 2 behind St. Norbert, but USCHO has you all the way at 5. Now, the interesting thing there is, in the D3 one, Oswego's all the way down at 8. Well, in the USCHO one, they're ahead of you at 4. They won it all last year, and you were there. Have you guys gotten that much better?
I don't think the rankings mean much, to be completely honest with you, whether we're 1 or 50. You know what I mean? I think we just need to go in there and do what we need to do. I think we have a real good team this year. We didn't lose too many players. We got Chewy coming back. We got a lot of good freshmen, like you said, and a lot of our underclassmen were top in scoring last year. So I think that brings a lot to the table.
Let's talk about some of those freshmen, though, really quickly. Who stands out? Who's new that you went, this guy's good?
Dakota Mason's very talented. They're all real good. Defensively, Pat Herman's is real good. So, those two kind of stick out. But everyone's real talented.
Now, what's Connor Gorman looking to get out of this season? As a sophomore, you've got more time. But what are you looking at your second one?
Yeah, I kind of want to, keep going on my personal goals and kind of keep going from what I did as a freshman and hopefully win a national championship with the boys.
Definitely, and we thank you for coming on today.
Thank
we
you.
also like to thank Gemma Rutherford. Don't call her Emma. Gemma Rutherford for coming on. It looks like the hockey teams are going to have some great times ahead of them, especially for this young man who's only a sophomore, and Gemma, who was huge last year. But that's pretty much going to do it for us tonight. As well, I'd like to thank Connor Gorman. I'd like to thank Gemma Rutherford, as well as Colleen Brandt. Everyone, have a great night.
Do I move?
Massachusetts boys, I'll tell you.